Alrighty, guys, we're back for Kylox Control, and this is a Murders at Karlov Manor standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. Here on the top end, rockin' Kylox Visionary Inventor. 7 mana, 4/4, legendary creature, rockin' Menace, Ward 2, and Haste. Okay, and whenever Kylox attacks, you sacrifice any number of other creatures. Then you exile the top X cards of your library, where X is their total power. You may cast any number of instant and or sorcery spells from among the exiled cards without paying their mana costs. Oh my. So you need to have like a good balance in the deck then of creatures that you wouldn't mind sacrificing, as well as instants and or sorceries that you wouldn't mind casting for free off of this. Hopefully I found a pretty good balance here. Really neat card though, really neat artwork too. Oh my. So one of the things I thought about for Kylox was actually Chrome Host Seedshark. 3 mana, 2/4 with flying, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you incubate X, where X is the spell's mana value. If you end up incubating pretty well off of the Chrome Host Seedshark and powering up those incubators, maybe those incubators wouldn't be a bad thing to sacrifice to the Kylox when it actually comes time to play this, right? And I called it Kylox Control for a reason, because we have a Kylox's Voltstrider here too. This is a 3 mana, 4/4 artifact vehicle, rocking Izzet colors up there. It has crew for 2, but it also has, you can collect evidence 6 and then have Kylox's Voltstrider become an artifact creature until end of turn. So you can either crew it for 2, or you can do that collect evidence 6 to have it become a creature too. That's pretty cool. So collecting evidence 6, to do that, you exile cards with total mana value 6 or greater from your graveyard. Okay, so we do have ways to actually get stuff into the graveyard as well. But let's finish going over the rest of the Voltstrider. So whenever Kylox's Voltstrider attacks, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from among cards exiled with it. Okay, so anything you collect evidence for, it goes underneath the Voltstrider. And then when you attack, you can cast those instant or sorceries that you exiled with it. That's pretty neat. Now, if that spell would be put into a graveyard, you put it on the bottom of its owner's library instead. Now, a noteworthy thing here, you don't get to cast it for free. You still have to pay the mana cost. So, but still, that seems pretty cool, man. So we have a bunch of ways to actually stock up the graveyard, like demand answers. So 2 mana, instant speed. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact or discard a card. Draw 2 cards. So of course, if we discard a card, maybe we can help screw this up with the evidence 6 side of things. Or artifacts, okay, maybe we end up sacrificing an incubator to draw a couple cards off the demand answers. Pretty neat card overall, isn't it? We have more ways to stock up that grave with big score. 4 mana, instant speed. As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card, of course. Draw 2 cards, create 2 treasure tokens. And of course, that extra ramp is going to go a long way when we have a 7 mana creature that we want to play. You know what I mean? We have a whole bunch of other things on the top end that we wouldn't mind ramping into, like Chandra Hope's Beacon in here as well. We also have Teferi, Temporal, Pilgrim. The planeswalkers in here just acting as more ways, more win conditions, right? When I play control, I like a whole bunch of win conditions. And the -2 on Teferi, getting that spirit. The spirit's a 2/2 vigilance. Whenever you draw a card, you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. When we have cards packed in here, like Big Score drawing us 2, Demand Answers drawing us 2, we also have a single quick study in here. Just 3 mana instant speed, draw 2 as well. Like all of that, just stacking counters onto Teferi, stacking counters onto the spirits. Yep. Pretty good, man. That's definitely one of the main win conditions, I'd say. Another one of the main win conditions, of course, is just burn down the house, acting as a terrific board wipe. Of course, on the flip side, you could just generate 3/1/1 devils. And so when you happen to get Kylox and you happen to hit a burn down the house for free, that's pretty good, man. And you're probably just generating devils. And then also the devils that are already generated when you're swinging in, you wouldn't mind sacrificing those to the Kylox either, because of course the devils deal 1 damage when they die. So yeah, that's all pretty neat, huh? Then we got some more new cards in here. Ill-Timed Explosion. Okay, this is a 4 mana sorcery speed. You draw 2 cards. Then you may discard 2 cards, okay? So that does say may, that's important. When you do Ill-Timed Explosion, deals X damage to each creature, where X is the greatest mana value among cards discarded this way. So that could be huge, man. What if you just discard a Kylox? Well, that's just 7 damage to each creature for 4 mana. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, the fact that it says you may, whenever you end up hitting this for free off of a Kylox, or maybe you end up casting it off of like the Voltstrider or something, maybe you just want to draw the 2 and you don't want to wipe your board. Very possible. Now, I took care to make sure a lot of our creatures wouldn't get picked up by Brotherhood's End, and that's kind of an important combo with the whole 4 toughness on the Chrome Host Seedshark, right? Sometimes Brotherhood's End is a one-sided board wipe in this build, which is pretty disgusting. And of course, let's not forget, and this is a note for myself because I always forget this, it also has that bottom ability. You get to choose one of these. You can destroy all artifacts with mana value 3 or less as well. You never know when that could come in handy. Of course, you don't want to accidentally hit your Voltstrider or something, or like all of your incubator tokens, but hey, it's on the card. We have one in here that we don't get to see too often anymore, Galvanic Iteration as well. 2 mana instant speed. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, you copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy that has flashback for 1, a blue, and a red. So this is also a card, since it has flashback, that you wouldn't mind discarding to one of the cards like Demand Answers or Big Score. Little bit of counter spells in here, a couple make disappears. You never know when it's going to hit something important. And we also have a little bit of tempo here early on with Fading Hope, just to slow down the opponent for a turn or 2 while we get the mana that we need onto the board to actually pull off our board wipes or something. Now we do have some honorable mentions over here as well. Deduce, I thought about this, like the whole draw card, so it replaces itself. Then you get the little Investigate. You have that, the Investigate, of course, is a clue, so it's an artifact for Demand Answers as well. Just a card I thought about. I don't know if it's good or not though. So yeah, honorable mentions for a reason. You guys will have to let me know. Is Deduce good? Thought about just like normal burn spells, but I do think we have enough in here to actually get the damage through creature-wise, like off of the Teferi and everything as well. Thought about Treasure Map, but I wanted to make sure I had enough instant and sorceries to actually make the Kylox top-end ability worthwhile. And then, oh, the mana base, guys. Okay, hold up. We have a couple Restless Spires and a couple Thundering Falls, which it enters tapped, but when it ETBs, you Surveil. So that could be another way to get stuff into the graveyard for like the Voltstrider ability and whatnot too. Now, it is an island in a mountain, which is pretty cool. It doesn't affect anything in this build in particular, but yeah, it taps for Izzet colors as well. That being said, since I'm opting for so many dual land, don't be afraid to just go ahead and trade any of those out for a Swiftwater Cliffs. Like seriously, the life gain goes a long way. Is the Surveil better than the life gain? I actually don't know. Every now and then, the opponent will get you down to 1, and it's all thanks to like a Cliffs or something. So yeah, something to think about. Feel free to trade out any of the mana. We do have a perfect even split in here. Look at this. 62% blue, 62% red. But yeah, nice even split in the mana base as well. So Swiftwater Cliffs, something to think about, I suppose. Crucible, Defiance, Soaring City goes without saying at this point, right? Is there anything else that I may have missed here, guys? I don't think so. All right, let's go ahead, take it into some ranked, and see how we do. Right into that first match, guys. Let's go. All right. What am I expecting from the build? A little bit. Last few times I played Izzet Control, it felt pretty good, but we'll see. We'll see. We go first. Okay. Right. This is probably keepable, I would say, right? Right? I mean, especially since we're going first here. Okay, we have Fading Hope open if we want to. Probably just save it, though. Plains from the opponent. Mountain. Yeah, since we can trade out any extra flood with the big score. Ooh, if the big score doesn't get countered, huh? Okay, Restless Spire. I don't mind seeing it, since it is a creature land. Fading Hope still open. Nothing from the opponent for the turn. Probably was just a counter spell, right? Bar's Headquarters. Okay. Yeah, a counter on the big score would be particularly bad. There's our Kylox. Sweet. All right. We still attempt the big score, though, right? Right? See, the additional cost of the discard is, that would be very tempting for the opponent. running it into a counter and losing 2 cards in our hand. No, I can't do it. Can't do it, guys. Oh, make disappear. Okay. Yeah, a little bit of patience and maybe we can counter their counter. Or, like, do the big score or something on top of a Wandering Emperor. Yeah, I think the patience was the best bet there. It's going to be Memory Deluge. Okay. So we could counter that. They have Flashback for 7. Instead, though, I'm just going to go big score. See what we see. Ditch the mountain. Don't need it right now. Another mountain anyways. Got the ramp into that. Yeah, I'm going to save the make disappear. That wouldn't be a bad counter, but I don't know. It kind of feels bad since they have the flashback eventually anyways. Kind of feels like maybe with all these extra treasures, maybe we'll be able to get the Kylox down and have the make disappear open. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay. No, we're 1 short, but what? Yeah, no. A little bit of patience. Let's do this. A good exercise for me. to just sit back, relax, let the opponent pass the turn while we pass our turn. Okay. We now have 5 open. That extra ramp off the big score is so good, man. Okay, if we wait a couple turns, we will in fact have enough mana for Kylox and make disappear on the same turn, so we could get that down, counter their counter. But on this turn, what do we want to do? Probably try to get even more of their counter spells out of hand, right? So let's go ahead, attempt burn down the house, get some devil swinging on in. We'll still have Fading Hope open too if they play something that's actually a creature. Or you never know, maybe it'll be like Wandering Emperor and they figure Samurai. Well, probably not though, because the devils can still ping the Samurai. Oh, nice. It just gets through. All right, sweet. Hopefully I went over this deck well enough. I always think to myself, like, control decks are a little bit weird for me to go over. Because there's a lot packed in, and like aggro decks, you're just like, yeah, and then you play the creature, and then the creature attacks the opponent, and that's what the deck does. Like that's like how going over aggro feels. But then control, like there's a whole bunch of little nuances going on. Okay, they pass it back to Teferi. Well, the question here is, if I go Kylox, do I even want to sacrifice anything? Maybe like 1 devil, see what we see. But like Teferi is pretty good too. But like the main build around, okay. Oh, if it's a counter, they have so much mana open. We might have to double down on make disappear. That's what the devils are for though, so let's do this, man. Dissipate, okay. So we're going to have to go ahead and do Casualty 1 on the make disappear. We're countering the Dissipate. Going to pay the 2. The Casualty 1 is a devil. Submit. Okay, Casualty 1 will be on the Dissipate. I guess they could also, go for the make disappear. Oh crap, guys. Was that all worthwhile? Was that all worth it? Oh no. So I guess there's nothing else we can do here. We can't target there. Wait, is that our make disappear? Yeah, because their make disappear was on top of the stack. Now we're just choosing the dissipate. I was just like double checking there if there's a lot on the stack. Oh man, hey, 2 counter spells out of their hand. That's not terrible for us. Teferi's still a great way to push some extra damage through with the tokens. There's a Sunfall out of their hand too. Oh, buddy, control looking gross over there. Another make disappear. Should we have anticipated that the last 2 mana in hand was a make disappear and not gone for the sacrifice? I don't think so. I think this was totally fine. And speaking of make disappear, we have 2 open to play around one, so hopefully Teferi lands then. It does. Very nice. At that point, we are going to go for the Spirit, I think. No guarantee that Teferi's not going to get picked up by something next turn anyways.
It's nice to see a familiar face.
We still have 2 open for our Make Disappear. Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. They might just power up Incubator for the turn. Our Fading Hope's not doing too much here, but if they end up powering up the Incubator, then Fading Hope does take care of that pretty nicely. Okay, and I think we'd want to attempt that on their turn anyways, especially since we want to keep this Make Disappear open just in case they try to play something huge. Okay. Lay down arms. Yep, that's going to happen. They're going to swing at Teferi, which I suppose we want to keep Teferi alive, so hopefully Fading Hope lands, but we do have a second Fading Hope. Would that be worth it? Okay, Dissipate. Keep Teferi alive is probably worth it, and we're getting extra counter spells out of their hand. Ooh, Ill-Timed Explosion. We could just draw 2 off of it. I'm going to keep that on top. Because, yeah, you may discard 2. We just draw 2 off of that real quick. If we send it, we could just see like a mana off the top, which would be really bad. All right. Probably -2. Well, okay, yeah, I'll go -2. I guess establishing a creature onto the board is good, right? This is sorcery speed. Okay, we get the draw too. And then we're just going to decline here. From host Seedshark. Okay. Do we tap out for the Seedshark? It could be like a second Sunfall when it comes time. I'm going to not tap out, guys. 1, 2, they have 6 mana on the board. The 1 short of the Memory Deluge, which would be a great counter if they go 7 into Deluge. Yep, I'm going to hold Seedshark back just because I feel like there's going to be another board wipe or something, which would be devastating. March of the Otherworldly Light for 0 because it's a token. So they do have 2 open for the Make Disappear. Oh, man. That's pretty good. That's a really good piece of removal for the opponent. Okay, at that point, maybe if we powered up... No. Powering up Restless Spire would have been really bad there, right? Wedding announcement. Yep. Yep, that lands. They still have 4 open, guys. Okay, passing it back. Generating some chump blockers. Okay, let's go Seedshark number 1. Generating more tokens off of Teferi probably isn't going to be great since they're getting chump blockers. I'm actually going to start with the draw here, guys. See what we see. Brotherhood's End. Okay. Okay, well that'll come in handy at some point. Let's attempt Seedshark number 1. We have 4 mana open. I'm trying to think, like, when do we start swinging with Restless Spire? On our turn, it does get that first strike when it swings in, so at least it won't trade into one of the 1/1s. But I think it's just like, we have 2 cards remaining in hand. We will not have... This is a tough decision, man. This is a really tough decision. I'm just going to keep the Make Disappear open again. I tend to not play counter spells incredibly well, but I just feel like countering something big from the opponent would be big for us, you know what I mean? Memory Deluge. That's the 4 mana version of it. All right, I'll counter it. It's a tough counter, but they're tapped out. We get the Incubator that we can power up. And they don't get to search 4 off the top. So, like, oh, they do have 7 mana, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I just miss their land play? So they get to do the Memory Deluge for 7 this turn if they want. Okay, we'll go ahead and power up the incubator since it's the end of their turn. All right, another Chrome Host Seedshark. Control versus control. What a match so far, guys. A good one. Don't mind burn down the house. Gotta anticipate them grabbing a Sunfall or something off of the Memory Deluge, because those Memory Deluge are going to be huge for them. I'm going to go draw on the Teferi instead of the Spirit for now. Keeping our hand nice and stocked. Okay, demand answers. Okay. Like, Brotherhood's End gets rid of that. Like, we could go demand answers, get rid of our Phyrexian, draw a couple. And then, like, Brotherhood's End, wipe their board if we want, but probably just fly in the air anyways. If they double block the Phyrexian, that's probably pretty good. I'm not going to power up the Restless Spire. Lots to think about in this game, guys. For real. If they double block the... Oh, Wandering Emperor. Okay, well, they get the exile on the Chrome Host Seedshark. Wonder how long they've been chilling with that in hand. So that's going to be a bit of a problem that we're going to want to take care of, like, immediately. So, like, Brotherhood's End, like, don't forget it'll hit our Teferi, too. Okay. So they end up taking the 2. They don't want that trade. So I'm going to get the Chrome Host Seedshark down. This hits 3 of their things. They get 1 more. Oh, they still have a card in hand, dude. They're still chilling over there. They have 3 open. You guys don't think it's another Dissipate, do you? At that point, do you think the other Chrome Host Seedshark would be better than the Brotherhood's End? Nah, let's do this. All right. It hits Teferi, but Teferi is pretty resilient. And then we get that extra... Oh, it is another counterspell. It's going to be a Make Disappear. But we do get the extra Incubator for, like, the demand answers when it comes time. Yeah, their last card in hand being a counterspell was huge. Oh, man, they find a Virtue of Loyalty. Dude, we're going to be in trouble in no time. I guess they go plus onto the 2/2. Oh, they go minus. They figure Wandering Emperor's going to die to the Chrome Host anyways. Okay, that is a big, big board state. I really didn't want to go burn down the house to wipe a board. We'd want to swing in the air first, for sure. How much do we want to generate off the Chrome Host Seedsharks first, too, then? My apologies, opponent. It has taken me a while to think through these plays. If we start with the draw, we might see, like, another Brotherhood's End, but now it doesn't hit their 4/4s, so it's probably just burn down the house, regardless. But do we start with the draw or generate... Probably generate Spirit. Hits for 5. Get Teferi down to 1. So we start with the swing in the air, right? We do that. Swing in the air. Then we go burn down the house. They are tapped out right now. It's our Planeswalkers too. Get that Incubator. The Fairy going down to 1. Let's get that. Let's get that Spirit going. And then we have demand answers for their turn. Or just power up Incubator. Or just play Seedshark, right? That's probably even better. Yeah, getting like restocked on this board is huge for us. So probably keeping Memory Deluge open, right? It was going to be a Brotherhood's End off the top too. But we, like I said, it doesn't hit their 4/4s, so. Okay. So we could just go for the power up. Power up our 5/5. Draw off of Teferi, right? I guess I should have done that first. Always want to draw before tapping out.
I am here to
Now that's 9. I mean, I guess we just go for it, right? We go for the swing. Like the full swing, though. Like power up everything. What's that last card in hand, dude? What is it? It's something. We'll swing. Scry 1. Ooh. I'm going to keep Voltstrider on top. I think that could be huge for us. Wandering Emperor. Holy cow, dude. What a hit. So we're going to take away that life gain with, because they're going to target the 5/5, right? So demand answers on the stack. Sacrifice an artifact. Sacrifice that 5/5. That's 5. How much getting through? How much is that? 10 getting through? Oh, the draw. The draw. Guys, that's it. Oh, man. What a match, dude. Good game, opponent. What a time. Holy cow. Dude, our deck really did a thing there. It really did a thing. A lot of the times, too, like just patience really worked out in our favor. We went through 2 Wandering Emperors from the opponent, 2 Dissipates, 2 Make Disappears, 2 Memory Deluge, a Sunfall, 2 Lay Down Arms, dude, the March. Holy cow. Like the Virtue of Loyalty was on their table. Like our board wipes were so beautiful. Like as soon as they got established, we were able to just wreck their entire board. What a time. Woo. That's one of those too, like you're at the edge of your seat for so long that once you finally get to the end of it, it just feels so great to get that victory. All right, we go first. Okay, not a lot of land here. We should be fine. How much land do I have in here total? I forget right now. I can imagine I have 26. I might have 27. I'm not 100% certain, guys. Maybe I should go check. All right, we'll start with the Stormcarved Coast. No guarantee that we're going to see like an untapped source off the top, so. All right, Make Disappear open. Fading Hope open. Passing it on back. Brotherhood's End is now available. Hitting that 4th mana for the big score would be great for us. Rakdos Control, maybe? Fading Hope. All right, nothing. Nothing for us to do. Nothing to hit with Brotherhood's End. Like, if we were up against aggro, then yeah, a couple turns of Brotherhood's End would be terrific, but they just keep passing it back as well. All right, there's our 4th. At least we'll be able to, now if we don't have a counter, which we very well might next turn, at least we'll be able to go big score. Yeah, seeing the 4th mana a turn sooner would have been nice. So maybe I should double check how much mana too, just in case, right? Like, you never know. Like, what if I only have 25 in here? I feel like that wouldn't be enough, right? Oh man, now I'm wondering because I have this ramp. I'm gonna do one of the Fading Hopes. If it's Rakdos Control, they have those big dinos with the ETBs, and so Fading Hope's bad. So only like 1 and then having like the Make Disappear maybe. Like, you know, if we miss the counter the first time. Wait, they don't have blue over there, do they? Okay, they're just like, hey, might as well do my big score while you're tapped out. Yep, that makes sense to me. Ill-timed Explosion. Okay. Okay, there's more mana. Don't mind seeing it, but what the crap do we want to do in our hand? I guess just keep it all open. Yeah, 7 total mana. All right. I guess pass it back to the opponent. They have 7 total mana right now, too. 8 total mana. If it's like in Atali, the... Ooh, at Sushi. Ooh. Okay. Well, that's a problem. Brotherhood's End doesn't hit it. Ill-timed Explosion might not even hit it. And even if we do, it has a terrific die effect. So maybe that's a Fading Hope target. I guess we start with big score and ditch one of the Brotherhood's Ends. And then maybe we just Fading Hope that. It's a pretty good tempo play. Quick study. I don't want to spend 2 treasures on the quick study. I don't want to spend 2 treasures on the demand answers, so we could discard something else. I think it's just a tempo play for now. Slow down their attacks for the turn. Ah. They want the effect on the Atsushi. Should we counter the Go for the Throat? No, probably not. Because we weren't getting a scry off the Fading Hope anyways. There's probably still a better target for the Make Disappear, especially since they could still pay the 2 with the treasures. So I think we just end up losing some cards there. So many treasures open for the opponent. I mean, I guess we have 4 as well, so... Oh, interesting. Okay. We found our Kylox. Play our mana, because we always need a lot of mana. We have the swing. It does have ward too. So they'd be paying a ton of their treasures to take this out with like a Go for the Throat. But we have no other creatures that we want to sacrifice with this. So it's just like a swing for 4 and then keep 3 treasures open. Yeah. Worthwhile. Like, I just want to see Kylox on the board. Like, there was still some decisions, like maybe we just keep back Quick Study, Make Disappear, and be happy about it. But like also demand answers too. No creatures to sacrifice. Womp womp. Next time, next time. We'll stock our hand with some creatures here. Because yeah, it could be demand answers. We could always discard the Brotherhood's End. Like, you don't have to sacrifice an artifact, so you could do 2 treasures, discard Brotherhood's End, still keep a treasure. But it depends. I think this Make Disappear is going to hit something big. Oh. Oh, crap. Yeah, no, that's the problem, though. All this extra mana. At the beginning of your end step, target opponent may sacrifice 2 non-land, non-token permanents. If they don't, you draw 2 cards. At the beginning of your end step. Okay. That's a problem. That's a big problem. That's a 6/6 flying trample too. They're gonna just continuously draw off of that. Okay, well, ill-timed explosion maybe? Maybe that hits our Kylox. Let's go for the draw on the demand answers. Go for the discard and ditch the Brotherhood's End. As it doesn't look like they have too many. I mean, Brotherhood's End could have hit their treasures, but it would have hit our treasures too. So we would have wanted to use our treasures to pay for the Brotherhood's End and hit their 5 treasures. Actually, maybe that would have been good. Right? Maybe it would have been decent to get rid of this extra mana over here. Soaring City. Voltstrider. Okay. I don't know if I'm seeing a clear path here. Voltstrider, we could power up Voltstrider, sacrifice it to the Kylox swing, see what we see. Maybe do 2 to everything off of the ill-timed explosion. All that for just 1 Rakdos seems so unnecessary. So like, I'm just gonna go Soaring City for 3, bounce the Rakdos, get a swing for 4. Actually, hold up. If I do go Voltstrider for the turn, this is a little silly, but I really want to see what happens. They still have 5 mana too, so we gotta be ready for that, but we'll see. So we need 6, so we'll go big score and demand answers. So the good news is Go for the Throat doesn't hit the Voltstrider. However, we're about to sacrifice it anyways to the Kylox. This is really funny, dude. Sacrifice any number of total creatures. So 4 total power. Let's see what we see off the top. Burn down the house for free. And that's it, actually. Oh, crap. So out of the 4, at least we saw a burn down the house, right? At least we saw something. That was fun. That was neat. It definitely not like the most optimized play in the world. But yeah, at least we saw something. We exiled a lot of goodies, though, unfortunately. Breach the multiverse. Oh, buddy, let's see what you see, opponent. They get a Planeswalker, too, potentially. Let's see what they hit. Maybe they hit nothing from us. You never know. Not too many creatures and planeswalkers in here. And we exiled like 3 of them last turn from the Kylox. Italy. Oh, man. Oh, did they actually? I think they did miss. Breach didn't hit anything for them from us. That's good. Ill-timed explosion, though. Crap, guys. That's going to wipe our board. But wait, if they end up doing 4, then our devils kill the Italy. This is interesting. They go ahead and discard the Rakdos, so they must have another one probably, right? Ill-timed explosion is a really neat card, isn't it? So with the total mana we have, 7, we could go Galvanic Iteration, Ill-timed explosion on our turn. It is sorcery speed. We draw 4. Drawing 4 for 7 doesn't seem great. Drawing 4 for 6 off the quick study, then that's a little better. And we can do that on their turn. Oh. What did they end up discarding there? Oh, they discarded Atraxa. Okay. Well, we got the opponent down to 9. Oh, they have so much mana, though. Oh, crap. They get to do something else. Virtue of Persistence. Oh, crap. Oh, Teferi. Yeah, dude. Good thing they missed some of our heavy hitters like this. Now that they don't have the treasures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they still probably get around the make disappear anyways. We'll only have the 2 open too. I suppose we go for Spirit, but they're about to bring back Atraxa. I think that's it, right? I think once the Atraxa hits, and how far are we? We're 36 minutes in. Oh no. Usually I like to play them out, but the matches have been long and I really want to get another one in. So let's see what's on top of our build. Let's let them get the Atraxa back. It's gotta be the Atraxa, right? Oh, Italy actually is what they go for. See what they... Okay, Chromo Seedshark at Sushi. Okay. Okay. I mean, that does look a little better than the Atraxa, huh? And I guess they had so many cards in hand anyways. What was the point of stocking their hand? I guess that's the thought process there. Bitter Reunion. Dude, this might just end. Like, they should power up the incubator first if they're going for a swing, right? And they can still play more onto this board before giving haste to anything. Holy cow. We should casualty this, right? Right? I guess. Yeah, this game's about to end a lot sooner than I thought it was. So everything onto the Olivia. And they can still power up the incubator. But then they won't have the haste. So they should probably just go for the haste on Bitter Reunion. Get rid of the Teferi. And swing 11 to face. Oh, yeah. Dude. Pretty good game from the opponent. Once they got to that level where their top end was coming down, it was really hard to have the proper decisions. All right, we're going to do our dandiest to wipe this board, but I don't think we're going to hit anything big enough. X is the greatest mana value among the cards, so we don't even have a 4 mana value, so we will decline. And then we still have 1 mana open. Command answered. I'm just doing it all on our turn. Discard the mountain, because we already played a land. Ooh, burn down the house. Okay, dude, yeah, opponent. Good game. Let's go ahead, let them swing this on in, as long as they don't take too long. Bring that Olivia back. Yeah, like once they were able to get the engine set up, it was going to be really hard for us to come back. However, we were putting on a decent amount of pressure, a decent amount of damage. At any point, I think, as far as Rakdos, nice. That's what they brought back with the Olivia. At any point there, I gotta be real with you guys. The Brotherhood's End may not have been the greatest thing for me to discard early on. I think maybe it would have been really good to try to take out the treasures. Like, use our treasures for Brotherhood's End, take out their 5 treasures, and maybe our Make Disappears would have been able to hit that Breach the Multiverse when it came time, right? Yeah, dude. That's definitely something to think about. Our deck seems to be operating well enough. The Make Disappear kind of feels like it needs to be a different counterspell, because we're getting to that point in the games where they easily have the 2, but we're also easily able to use the casualty cost on those 2. So we go first again for some reason. All right, I guess we'll try this out, right? Like, all the starting hands have been relatively slow, but we're drawing pretty well. And in the final thoughts, I have to remind myself, I got to go check how much mana I have in. The mana feels fine overall. Having 4 in an opening hand like this is not a bad thing at all, I would say. Oop, oop, oop. Almost played the wrong one. Yeah, we don't have to keep Fading Hope open right now. Just get our tap land down, get ready. I wonder if this is more control then. It would have been awesome to go up against some aggro today, though. There's the opponent. Ooh, Swift Spear. Okay, well, I guess it's a good thing we went first. We're gonna need to see some of our board wipes, like, immediately. Okay, Fading Hope is open. Okay, yep, get rid of that land. We don't need it. We do have a lot of board wipes, so we should be fine. And Fading Hope's a great tempo play against the Swift Spear too, hopefully, depending on what they end up doing with it. Feldon. Oh, crap. Okay, well, we should probably hit the Feldon. It's 2 less for the turn. They have to spend mana to play it again next turn. We get the Scry. Demand Answers. Demand Answers could help us draw into that board wipe that we need to see. The board wipes against Feldon, like, Feldon's really, really bad because our board wipes deal damage. Ooh, tough decisions, guys. This might be a fast game for Mono Red. We'll see. That was a very slow turn 2 for them, luckily. And since we went first, too. We have Restless Spire open, but it doesn't have first strike on their turn, but it could potentially block. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be Demand Answers. And see what we see, because we could find like another Fading Hope, for example. Okay, so we'll go ahead, since it's just the Feldon, probably the island, I would say. Demand Answers and another, our second Kylox. Okay, they get 3 through, so some pretty slow turns as far as Mono Red is concerned. Big score. Okay, well, we're probably in trouble, man. Let's see what the opponent ends up doing on their turn, and it's probably going to be big score before the swing, see if we see anything that can deal with their creatures. They find their third is, it's not going to be a Godric. I was going to say, is the Godric going to come into play on time? 5 damage on this board state. They go for the swing. Big score, and it's probably going to be Demand Answers. That's tough. Big score ramps us further if we need it, is the thing. So I think it's the Demand Answers. Oh, wait. Why not Kylox number 2? What was I thinking there? Okay, play with fire. Let's see something good. Okay, Fading Hope. Fading Hope the Feldon. We'll have 5 mana. We get the Scry. The Scry is essential. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to keep the mana. This is a lot of tough decisions, guys. We're going down to 9 here. We could easily die next turn. We're going to play the mana. We got big score. Now we will end up discarding one of the Kyloxes. And we're going to do it on our turn because we might see our sorcery speed board wipe, which is 4 mana. Galvanic Iteration. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Okay, this was actually kind of feeling a little unlucky here, huh? Although the double Fading Hopes is not a bad thing. We also have the power up for the Restless Spire, and Kylox getting this down as a blocker wouldn't be terrible. The problem is they're pushing lethal this turn, I bet. All right. I mean, if they have it, they have it. Let's see if we find like another Fading Hope or something off the quick study. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go Lightning Strike. Is it going to be a second Lightning Strike? It is going to be a second Lightning Strike. Hey, good game, opponent. I guess technically we could have found our like a third Fading Hope and then bounced the Swift Spear back, right? Because we still had the one treasure open over here. Oh man. Yeah, no, I feel like we got a little unlucky there. A lot of card draw. None of our board wipes in the top 20. So 40 cards remaining. I don't know. Let's go take a look at the deck again and see. Even if we had a board wipe, let's be real. Mono red could have easily still gotten there. like, yeah, they had 2 lightning strikes in hand, so that was going to be a very much an uphill battle regardless. We needed to just see more fast stuff earlier. So Galvanic Iteration didn't do too much today, did it? I still kind of sort of like the one of. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. Is this worth keeping around? The mana felt fine. Let's double check. 26. Yes, that's probably where you want the mana. I wouldn't go up any. I wouldn't go down any. Some games, it did feel like, oh no, we need to see a mana off the top. And other games, it was just completely fine, especially with like the double treasure on the big scores really helping us out. And always be very careful about like counter spells on the big score like we were in that first match. Like making sure we didn't run this down into a make disappear was essential. The double Kylox showing up against mono red there too was bad, but hey, at least when we're trading it out, like it doesn't, like it's not terrible. You know, using the demand answers and the big score to trade out these things. And then like, it's the same thing when you're using these cards that trade things out. When you're up against control and you're like, well, I guess our big score isn't going to do too much. But let's be real, against certain control decks, Brotherhood's End actually does do a lot. Did I say big score for Brotherhood's End? Getting my cards mixed up. Anyways. Anyways, you guys know the point. Like maybe you're up against a control deck that isn't going wide with like wedding announcements and stuff. Well, then that's just a great way to discard the Brotherhood's End and trade it out, get something new, get something that actually deals that damage through. The deck actually felt pretty good overall. But I mean, our win rate didn't show that, but we also didn't get too many matches either. So this is one of those where I say more testing required for sure. Now, building around the Kylox, I would say you could probably drop one Kylox and go up like another Chandra Hope's Beacon. I think Chandra might be a little bit better in here. But doing that, you know, you're getting rid of just a small part of the soul of the build. You know, you're going to see Kylox a little bit less. But hey, we still have a couple Kylox's Voltstriders, which I still think would be worth a couple of, especially since we're stocking that grave pretty easily. I think more often than not, Chrome Host Seedshark is just going to be an MVP. It blocks so well. It blocks well in the air. It generates incubators to like everything in here. If you're not wiping the board with Burn Down the House, you're generating devils and getting an incubator with 5 +1/+1 counters on it too. So like there's like little things like that just make that super worthwhile. Ill-timed explosion was pretty good. I would have loved to see this actually do a thing, especially against that mono red, right? Taking the Feldon out of the equation, seeing like an ill-timed explosion or something that game, wiping their board, restocking our hand. They still get to like play the Feldon, but then they wouldn't have been able to see more off the top. Would we still be in that game had we seen a board wipe? Yeah, I think so. I think we would have been able to survive at least a couple more turns, which maybe could have been enough. Maybe not though. At that point, if you're not fizzling out mono red completely, like for example, a counterspell like a Make Disappear on one of those lightning strikes would have been huge for us too. So earlier I brought up Make Disappear kind of feels like maybe it's not the right counterspell for this deck, but it actually kind of feels like it is. But I don't know. And yeah, we were easily able to pay the casualty cost when it came time too. I'm not sure, guys. This one's a tough one for me. I do like the tempo that the Fading Hope delivered for us. I do think we still want all 4 of these rather than trading out for just more like early red removal or something. Maybe red removal that exiles. I think the Fading Hope's still going to do it. At least for me, right? There's going to be moments too where you can significantly slow down the opponent off of like an iteration and then copy a couple Fading Hopes and get a couple scries in too. So yeah, I think that's it actually. The 1 of Quick Study was totally fine, right? The Teferi is really good, as usual. It just feels significantly underplayed on so many levels, and it's such a great way to play control while still being able to pressure the opponent's face, which is, of course, like that's so essential, right? Like you just don't want to play control that doesn't know how to get the last bit of damage through. All right, guys. Hey, enough rambling. If you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. Definitely make sure you check out the description where we got that Discord link as well as that Patreon link if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. Okie dokies, I'll see y'all in the next video.